post for the thumbnail. Hi guys, I just wanted to share some thoughts today. Let me know if you guys want this to be some kind of series. Yeah, I'm just gonna tackle a thought in my head and a topic that I've been wanting to talk about, and I feel like personally God has been impressing also in my heart. So the topic I actually want to touch for today is forgiveness. I personally have struggles with regulating my emotions when it comes to people offending me, especially if I know that they have actual intentions to do that in the first place. And that's really something I am struggling with, and I have asked God about. Every time I feel hurt, I usually express to the Lord about my hurt, but most of the time, I have a struggle, even if I do pray, accepting or forgiving the person. So yeah, that's the topic I wanna touch on tonight. I think I've mentioned from another vlog that I do have a discipleship group. For those who just encountered my channel now, I attend CCF and I joined a D group or a discipleship group recently, I think a few months ago. But it's been doing good to me. I'm learning a lot about others and about myself, and it's also helping me with my self-improvement and the deepening of my relationship with the Lord. Anyways, in one of our discussions in the group, they shared this particular book, chapter and verses that kind of gently tapped me about my issue with in terms of forgiving other people. So I'll read it to you guys and maybe pop it up in the screen, I'm not sure. So it's actually John chapter 21 verse 15 to 17. It says here, "When they had finished eating, Jesus said to Simon Peter, 'Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these?' 'Yes, Lord,' he said, 'you know that I love you.' Jesus said, 'Feed my lambs.'" Verse 16, again Jesus said, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" He answered, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." Jesus said, "Take care of my sheep." Verse 17, the third time he said to him, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Peter was hurt because Jesus asked him the third time. "Do you love me?" He said, "Lord, you know all things. You know that I love you." Jesus said, "Feed my sheep." So just for context, if you read the verses before this, actually Jesus prophesied that Peter would deny him 3 times. And he'll know that it has happened when he hears the rooster. And it came to pass. Peter felt bad and he was trying to go back to his old ways. But when Jesus resurrected and went to Peter, these are his words, the ones that we just read. And that got me thinking, because I personally know that I should forgive others because God forgives me every time I make mistakes. But it's difficult, right? But here, I saw a glimpse or a part of Jesus's heart. Like, it's just kind of ironic that Peter denied him 3 times. And then Jesus forgave Peter 3 times. And I think there's a purpose for that. I think it's to tell us that we are to forgive. And there is wisdom also in there that sometimes forgiveness doesn't equal trust when it comes to people. Like, obviously Jesus forgave him 100% here and gave him a commandment to take care of my sheep, feed my lambs. And it all really depends. But for me, in my opinion, and if we look throughout the Bible, Jesus actually often came to a mountain or some space by himself for his own mental health. So that tells me even Jesus thinks your mental health and your space and your personal time is important. But his personal time was not just centered on just doing what he loves to do. He also made sure that God was in the picture. So like expressing to God, taking breaks, just remembering God throughout the time that he's taking his personal space, and seeing that Jesus has these attributes, these attitudes, these values. I feel that there is also wisdom in choosing whether you're going to be giving your trust, your 100% trust again to the person. And this is a case-to-case basis. Like, there are people who are genuinely just mistaken. You can definitely trust them after. But there are cases that people intentionally hurt you. And that's the hard part, in my opinion. And I personally think that you can forgive them, but it's healthy to set boundaries. Because Jesus himself had boundaries. He did not tackle the Pharisees. He did not aggressively confront them, you know? So we have to choose our battles. And we have to ask wisdom from the Lord on who to keep close to us and who we should set healthy boundaries with. Not necessarily cut them off, but more on just being casual and being civil about it. And I think there's a godly principle behind that. It's not necessarily a sin. Because I used to struggle with like the idea of forgiving and acting as if nothing happened. And sometimes if what they did was too much for me to handle emotionally, or it has triggered some kind of trauma I had in the past, it's difficult for me to treat them the same as before and forcing myself to. So God has showed me that I can just take it slow. Being hurt is normal. And being hurt is not something you can get rid of with just one day, just one prayer, or one fasting. It takes time. And it takes emotional regulation, emotional intelligence, and it takes intentionality to forgive a person. It's up to you, though, if you want to talk to the person so you guys can talk it out. I personally do that if the other party is willing to talk and is not closed off from ideas and is willing to find a middle ground with me. But if they're not willing, I tend to just leave them to God and let God do the actions. I just want to share recently, I did feel some kind of hurt from a certain circumstance, from a certain happening. And it came to the point that I don't even want to talk to them anymore. I just want to leave them alone. Because that's how much, how triggered I was from the things that I am discerning, I am seeing, and I have observed. But then one day, I suddenly had the courage to talk to them. And I've been praying about this too, because I do feel guilty when I have negative emotions towards someone. But they're emotions. We just have to not act upon them. We have to respond to them in a correct way. And then later on, that same very person reached out to me and wants to have a heart-to-heart talk. I think that was the perfect moment when I was ready. And I think it's a divine orchestration. So there are times like that. If you don't know what to do, you can let go and let God do the work. Let God do the appointments. Let God do your relationships. Because some relationships we want to keep, but we don't know that it's not worth it. But only God knows for, in terms of future aspect. And He'll make things work for you if it's for you. That's just what I wanted to say. I feel so much lighter after that happening. Like, you just really have to let yourself feel the emotions. Let God know. Open up to a trusted, godly friend or godly counsel about it. Don't feel guilty if you feel anger and you're having a hard time to remove that anger in your heart. Just make sure you don't act upon it. You respond to it accordingly. You become intentional with everything you do and things that you do to help you feel better. So, yeah, that's the thing I want to share for tonight. And hopefully I can handle things better in the future if ever something similar like this happens again in any circumstance. Remember that God loves you very much. He died for you. There's no such thing as perfect. If it's demanding performance, it's not God. That's something you always have to remember. So, yeah, let's be authentic and real when it comes to our walk with God and our faith. Because even I make a lot of mistakes and I fall short every day in a lot of things. And That's the beauty of it. We learn to come back to our feet, rely on God even more. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you. Bye.